I'm going to start this review directly with the price, something that I don't generally do. The OnePlus Pad 2 is priced at 39,999 and 42,999 for a device with Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. This makes this tablet the most affordable device with Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 in India right now. When was the last time that OnePlus actually did this? An affordable flagship device with a flagship level SoC. It's quite a while back if you ask me. Yeah, so I'll let that sink in, and while you do that, I'm gonna review the OnePlus Pad 2 and tell you guys why it's actually one of the best Android tablets that we've tested here till date. Hi, I'm Ershad. You're watching Trakin English, your destination for detailed, incisive gadget reviews. The display on the OnePlus Pad 2 has been upgraded. It's now a larger 12.1-inch IPS LCD panel with 3K resolution and 144Hz refresh rate. And this is variable refresh rate as well. But that aspect ratio is still that very weird 7:5, which is not in line with a lot of the content that we consume, especially movies, because you will end up seeing black bars. Moreover, I'm not really aware of what display protection has OnePlus used on this, but since it's a large panel, I don't really think there's any display protection, so don't drop it. And since this is the 144Hz panel, it's smooth. It's very, very smooth and very responsive. The touch response is very good too. And remember when I had reviewed the original OnePlus Pad, it had weird color shifting issues when you viewed at it at extreme angles. Well, that's not there here, which is a good upgrade. And that apart, you also do get a color accuracy, which is pretty good because you get a delta E of less than 0.7. So it's pretty color accurate. And more importantly, the display brightness has been upgraded to 600 nits now, which is the typical brightness from 500 nits on the OG OnePlus Pad. And you also get a peak brightness of 900 nits. So when you take it outdoors in auto brightness, it'll go up to 900 nits. If you want to watch HDR videos on YouTube, that is possible, and the HDR gradation has been done well too. Now when you talk about the multimedia experience, speakers, very important, right? 6-speaker system, and it sounds loud, it sounds rich as well. Take a listen to it for yourself and let me know what you guys think. And OnePlus has introduced something called omni-bearing sound field. Essentially, what the speakers do is when you orient the device vertically or horizontally, it will orient the sound accordingly as well. So if you're a psycho like me who likes to watch Instagram reels on this massive 12.1-inch panel, then you will definitely appreciate that feature. But what's solely missing is a headphone jack. I mean, on a tablet, headphone jack's very important. Thankfully, though, the Type-C port at the bottom is a proper USB Gen 3.2 Type-C port. And of course, you can connect any high-res USB DAC and it'll work absolutely fine on this. And you also do get support for Bluetooth high-res codecs like LHDC and LDAC. Also missing on the OnePlus Pad 2 is a fingerprint sensor and your subscription. Not on the OnePlus Pad 2, on our channel. You guys are watching our content in droves but not really subscribing. Why guys? Come on, do it. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to go. Now, the one aspect on the OnePlus Pad 2 that's fantastic is the performance. Of course, it comes with Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 and you get the Adreno 750 GPU as well, making it one of the most powerful tablets in the market right now and absolutely exceptional for gaming. For starters, BGMI supports 90 FPS gameplay and it was buttery smooth. Even if you're rushing enemies, no stutter whatsoever. It's absolutely great. And the same experience was with Genshin Impact as well, where we run the game at highest graphics and 60 frames per second and we got nearly 60 frames per second, about 59.22 average FPS. And of course, Call of Duty also runs at 120 FPS, no problem there. Again, very smooth experience. And the best part about gaming on the OnePlus Pad 2 is the fact that this thing doesn't even get warm. But that's where the positives end with respect to performance, because the CPU does throttle, just like the OnePlus 12 did. Also, instead of bundling storage with UFS 4.0 tech, they've actually bundled UFS 3.1, which is a bit of a letdown. Despite those minor niggles, I still think that if you're in the market for a great gaming tablet and a great performing tablet, you really cannot go wrong with the OnePlus Pad 2. So much so that the OnePlus Pad 2 is actually more powerful than the iPad 10th generation. And yeah, that's also available at the same price, by the way. Alright, now it's time to talk about the first-party accessories that you can buy along with the OnePlus Pad 2, and of course also the software experience. Yeah, the accessories are connected here. Now before I talk in detail about the accessories, let me get the basic out of the way. You get OxygenOS 14.1 based on Android 14, and OnePlus is promising 3+4 years of software updates. Also, the software has been very well tuned for a tablet experience. You get the dock like you get on most Android tablets these days, and that dock is a persistent one. So even within an app, that dock opens up. And Open Canvas has to be one of my favorite multitasking implementations on a big screen Android device yet. Obviously, you can open up three apps at the same time in a 3-window system, but you can do that, like it does it contextually. Essentially, if you have, say for example, a YouTube video playing, then it opens up horizontally at the bottom, which is very well done. Of course, there are other features like File Dock, which obviously comes in handy because you can use that as a clipboard. The other thing is that you get App Relay, which basically transitions your work from your phone to your tablet and vice versa. And you also get cellular data sharing, which is probably the reason why it doesn't have LTE support. Alright, now let's talk about the smart keyboard, and I think it's one of the nicest tablet accessories that I've used in a long time. There are issues with it, but before that, the really good thing about this is that you can attach this in two ways. You can use the pogo pins to attach it, or you can actually connect it using Bluetooth. And we'd suggest you use Bluetooth. Primarily because this thing flops around way too much. You can't actually keep it on your lap and use it properly. Now that is something that OnePlus needs to fix in the next iteration of the smart keyboard. Now when you're talking about the keyboard, the key travel is very important, so that key travel is very good. There are a ton of shortcuts available, but there's like an extra function row at the top which gives you a bunch of different options as well. For example, locking the tablet itself is one thing, but you can also take like screenshots and stuff, which is damn cool. And the massive trackpad on this can put some budget Windows, machines to shame. And you might have noticed one thing, on the smart keyboard itself, there is an option for NFC, which means that you can actually tap your phone and connect your phone immediately by doing that. Now there are AI features that are available on the OnePlus Pad 2, but before that there are 3 AI features within the AI toolbox that is going to come in September, which is basically AI Summary, AI Speak and AI Writer. Now for the features that are available, you get AI Smart Eraser 2.0, there's also a Smart Cutout feature, and of course Auto Pixelate is present here as well. And one of the things that we noticed with the Magic Eraser is that it's one of the nicest Magic Erasers we've used. It actually does a very good job of erasing the unwanted objects or subjects in your picture. Overall, I think OnePlus's AI approach is actually working well. Now talking about the Stylo 2, it has 16,000 pressure point sensitivity and you can use it to write, sketch, whatever you want to do. Regardless, it works, and there's like a really nice linear vibration motor inside that activates itself at certain points. So basically, if you're using the OnePlus Notes app, you can sometimes feel these vibrations, but otherwise it doesn't work, which I think again is a missed opportunity. Also, there's a presentation mode which when we used wasn't very good. Essentially what it does is that it allows you to actually annotate in the air itself. You don't even need to touch the screen, and it doesn't work properly. So overall, when you look at it, the software experience is absolutely fantastic. It's something that we absolutely enjoyed on this tablet. And as for the accessories, I think buying the smart keyboard makes sense. The Stylo 2, I mean, if you're not a huge notes-taking guy, or you're like, you don't want to sketch too much, then you can just skip it. Alright, now let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that is actually the battery life. So what you get internally inside this massive tablet is a 9510 mAh battery. And in our testing, what we noticed is that we got about 5 to 5.5 hours of screen on time, but of course we were stress testing it, and maybe you can probably push it to about 7 hours of SOT. Now that, in my opinion, is not that great, honestly. It could have been higher. Generally, tablets do give better battery performance. That's not true for the Pad 2. However, the good thing is that you get 67-watt charging support right out of the box, along with the charger inside the box as well. And this tablet can charge from 0 to 100 in 80 minutes, under 80 minutes. Now, cameras on a tablet are as useful as Frenchie in season 4 of Boys. They are instrumental to the plot, but not really used much. So what you get on the OnePlus Pad 2 is a 13MP camera on the rear and an 8MP selfie camera on the front. And of course, you can use the 13MP camera on the rear to sort of capture your documents and stuff. Don't go around pointing your tablet at people's faces. It's stupid. Of course, the selfie camera takes decent looking selfies, but you can also use it for video calls. But that limelight feature seems to be missing here, so it doesn't like move around when you move around the camera. Anyway, just take a look at these samples that we shot with the 13MP camera and the 8MP camera. It's okay. It's a tablet camera. I mean, who cares? Now you must be wondering, Ershad, you didn't talk about the design of the tablet. Well, I kept it for last because it's a basic design. It looks very similar to the OnePlus Pad, the OG OnePlus Pad, just that the dual tone design has now changed into an entire aluminum slab. It's fairly comfortable to hold because it's slim at about like 6.49, 6.5 millimeters. Now, yes, it's heavier than the OG OnePlus Pad, but since you get more surface area, the weight has been distributed well, so you don't really feel the weight when you actually hold it. Now, since this is made entirely of metal, where are the antenna bands or antenna lines, Ershad, if you ask me? Well, it's actually around the camera ring, which is very similar on the OnePlus Pad 2 as well. So all of the Wi-Fi signals will actually go through here. So you get support for Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 5.4, but there is no, mobile network connectivity, so you don't get LTE or 5G. I think that's a missed opportunity for OnePlus because with a tablet like this, it would have been great to have, untethered connection. But yeah, I mean, if you have a OnePlus phone, then you do get, immediate connectivity and all of that is there. But still, it would have been nice to have like a standalone network connectivity option. Now, one thing I must definitely mention before moving on to the conclusion is the fact that that when you do add the accessories to this pad, which is basically the keyboard and the stylo, then the product does become very heavy, over 1 kilo, and it sort of removes the portability aspect of it a little bit. Now, compared to the original OnePlus Pad, the OnePlus Pad 2 looks like and feels like and functions like a proper generational upgrade. And this is the promise of Android, right? And OnePlus is keeping that alive. Basically, what you get is a flagship SoC, great software experience, and generally a good overall tablet experience as well. In fact, the software has been really tuned well for this large, display form factor, which is pretty good. Now, one of the things that you must be wondering is that if I buy this entire setup, forget the stylo, if I buy this keyboard and the touchpad, can I replace it with a budget Windows laptop? Because it would come up to about, say, 50,000 rupees, right? Well, there are two ways to look at it depending on what your use case is. If you're only going to be using it for, say, document work or college work, for printing stuff out, then this is more than enough. But if you're going to be coding, if you're going to be doing creative work, Photoshop, Premiere Pro, all of that, yeah, tablet won't cut it. Laptop does laptop things, a tablet does tablet things. Understand what these use cases are. Heck, even the iPad hasn't managed to replace the Mac yet. So how will OnePlus replace a Windows laptop? Alright, so what do you guys think of the OnePlus Pad 2? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Did you like our review? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, keep tracking and stay safe.